So I'm going to share my screen. And I know, Kathy, you might not be able to take notes.
I'll try.
Yeah. And no worries if you can't, because you and I can go over this, another time as well. So this is empathy mapping. Okay. An empathy map. So this is a foundational part of intuitive marketing. And I think that it helps us to even more deeply step into the shoes of the people that we want to serve. So we went through creating some customer personas, right? When we did that exercise. So I want you to think about your customer personas. If you haven't gone through that exercise yet, just think of your ideal clients or a couple of clients that you've already worked with. I want to work with more of these people. Right. So I could think of if I haven't done the customer persona exercise, I could be like, okay, one persona is going to be Nina, one persona is going to be Jen, one persona is going to be Kathy. Right. But so I want you to choose a specific ideal client or persona. Okay. And so what this does is it helps us understand the people that we want to serve and understand their needs and their desires and their struggles, and to look at our clients holistically. Okay. So we're going to look at what are they seeing? What are they hearing? What are they thinking? Nina was just talking about thoughts. What are they feeling? And then most importantly, what is it that they want? And so I love using this because it really does help go beyond, the surface level. We talked about demographics when we did that customer persona exercise. But we also talked about psychographics, and now we're kind of getting into their head just a little bit more. Okay. And so I think because right now we're in a buyer's market, because of inflation, because of interest rates, because it's an election year, we need to hone in on what our clients' wants are, what their needs are, what their struggles are, what their desires are, so that when we create whatever content, whether it's social media content, whether it's content on a website, whether it's, whatever that is, whether it's speaking, that they're like, oh my gosh, this person is in my head. Like they know exactly what's going on with me. They're speaking directly to me. That's how we cut through the noise when we're in this kind of economy. Okay. So this empathy mapping will help us to move beyond just kind of the surface level stuff, and really understand their lived experience, what's going on in their lives. Okay. And I think that then will strengthen the connection with you, and your services will speak directly to what it is that they need. And then also you're building trust and loyalty, and then ultimately sales. Yay. We like more of those. Okay. So we're going to start with what they see. So what does that mean? So this is understanding the external world of your ideal client, what they're exposed to, what environments they're in, what images, what posts, what messages are they seeing regularly. I used the example of like a fitness expert yesterday when we talked a little bit about this. And it was like, they might definitely they're seeing quick fix programs. Definitely they're seeing before and after perfect bodies on Instagram and all of that. But they also might be seeing like unused fitness equipment that has now become something for their clothes to hang on, that then also makes them feel like a failure. So then the feeling can go into the feel box. But like, what are they seeing, right? Like a day in the life of who these people are. What are they seeing around them? Maybe for a yoga teacher, they're seeing endless social media posts about wellness trends and yoga as a lifestyle, and influencers. And, for Anamaya, it's like skinny, young, white women doing super bendy poses. And a lot of it's become highly sexualized. And we're fighting against the frickin' algorithm because the algorithm is also boosting that content. So we're showing content of all different bodies, all different ages, all different colors, all different shapes and sizes. but the algorithm doesn't favor that. And so we know our clients are seeing all the young, blonde, white, bendy girls. So we have to make sure that our content is like, you might be seeing a lot of this, but that doesn't mean that you can't come to one of our retreats, right? We actually, we're size positive, we're LGBTQ plus welcoming, we're, all of these things. And so we do a lot of our messaging specifically on that because we know our ladies are seeing what the algorithm is favoring, and that's making them feel like shit. No bueno, right? A life coach, maybe your client might be seeing their friends or their peers or some of their family members like achieving these life milestones or these career successes. And they're like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I achieve that? Or whatever, their goals are. Right. So just to think about what are they seeing? And then to go into what are they hearing? This is like basically what are they hearing from others, from their friends, from their family, but also influencers? What are they hearing in the media? And so they might be hearing, like, for example, a health professional might be hearing conflicting advice about diet or health routines or supplements or this exercise regime or that exercise regime and this fad and that diet. And then they're also contradicting each other. No, intermittent fasting is good. No, intermittent fasting is bad. No, this is how you do it. No, this is how you do it. It's contradicting, it's confusing. And if anything, it might even be pissing your ideal clients off a bit. And they're hearing their friends saying, oh, this worked for me, or that worked for me. And the influencers are going, oh, well, this is what you should do, or that was what you should do, right? A life coach, maybe they're hearing people around them say, like, just work harder. You should have it figured out by now, right? Then they're feeling pressured. They think that there's something wrong with them, which then goes into what is it they're thinking? These are the inner thoughts. These are the inner thoughts that Nina was talking about when we're bored and all of a sudden we have these thoughts and go into a bit of a negative spiral, because the thoughts are always there, my friends, but we use all these ways of numbing them and blocking them out. So their inner thoughts, their beliefs, what do they believe about themselves, about their health, let's say? What are they thinking about their success or their own journey? They might be thinking, I'm never going to achieve my goals. I'm not cut out for this. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. My health problems are too big for me to fix. Or I need, or if it was a weight loss thing, there's too much weight for me to lose. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm not experienced enough. I'm not good enough. I don't have enough education. Oh my God, I could go on and on and on. I don't have enough time. I think I said that one already, but that's a big one for so many people. So what are they thinking? And then how is that making them feel? And that's an easy one. Like, we've already plugged in a few emotions, but you just look at all of the thoughts that they're thinking. How is that making them feel? What emotions are they experiencing? Maybe they're overwhelmed. Maybe they're stressed. Maybe they're feeling desperate. And also, I should go back to the thoughts. Some of the thoughts might be like, I'm done with this. I'm ready for change. Remember, our audience is looking for a solution. They're ready. So if they're in this state of like, I think I'm too old to become the healthiest version of me. I don't think I have it in me, but I'm done. Like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick and tired of this. I want to change. So that could also be a thought, which then the feeling is maybe there's some hope there. Maybe there's some motivation there. Maybe there's some curiosity there. Right? Because if it's all doom and gloom, then they might not be ready for you yet. We want to attract the people who are ready, who are looking for your solution, your solution basically to their problem. So they're feeling like a failure, they're feeling overwhelmed, they're feeling stressed, but they're feeling motivated, or maybe they're feeling hope. Like those aren't mutually exclusive. They can exist, at the same time. And then what is it that they want? Do they want to feel in control of their life again, or want to feel in control of their health again? Do they want to have more energy? Do they want clarity? Do they just want to feel better? Do they want to live longer? Do they want more confidence? Do they want accountability? Right? So I want you to think about what is it that they want. And then as we go through this map, think about how you can use this information to tailor your content, your messaging, your communication. Like, have you really been speaking about their frustrations or their desires? Are you acknowledging their feelings? This is also, ladies, perfect for cred content. Because this is where the slivers come into place in terms of the cred content. It's like, are you feeling sick and tired of your pain controlling your life or whatever, right? Like that would be a thought. I'm sick and tired of this pain controlling my life. And then you can kind of go into the big idea of that, like there is a solution and the solution looks like this, and you can take control back of your life. And you talk about the big idea and then you go into a story and all of that. So this is also really great for cred content. And you can go into this category of what do they see? Are you looking at all of this amazing fitness equipment that you invested in that cost you probably quite a bit of money? And now all it's doing is serving as a clothing rack? It's okay. I got your back. Don't make that turn into a failure. Don't use that against yourself. That kind of thing. What are they hearing? Are you hearing all the contradictory advice on, oh, I have wrist pain, so I can't do yoga, or no, you should be doing yoga for your wrist pain. Like that's confusing you, frustrating you. You're interested in doing yoga, right? That's probably a thought, but they're not sure. So when you show that you understand your clients on a deep level, your marketing doesn't feel like marketing. It feels more like a conversation. And I think that's what's really going to help us cut through the noise right now as we're in this buyer's market and you start to build relationships. It's really like, it's about building relationships rather than pushing sales. Sales are great. I want you guys to sell. I want you to have a strong call to action. I was talking to a client about this yesterday, and Jen, you and I have talked a lot about this too. It's like, step into your authority and have a call to action. Tell people that you can help them, but also have conversations, build trust, let them know that like when they read your content, they're like, oh my gosh, you're in my head. So I love this tool. And I think it goes along really nicely with the customer persona exercise we did. So I'm going to stop my share. Let's start with you, Jen. What's kind of any ahas? What's coming up for you? What do you have any questions? Let's just do a bit of a share.
I had a lot of ahas about different things they're hearing. What came up a lot is like all the mixed messages or all the pressured messages that I feel like they're getting. What I got was why they're feeling like I have no time, I have no space in my brain and my heart, which is causing stress. Some thoughts about like I'm too old, what's the difference? What is yoga? Or I can't do yoga.
So, and what do you think, like in terms of what they're hearing or seeing, what came up for you there?
What came up, I started off with they're seeing like on Instagram, like all these like videos of interpreted like performances or deaf politics, social justice politics, parents signing with their kids, like a lot of that stuff comes up. Then a lot of sort of motivational quotations, how to be a better person. What they're hearing is like, what you do is like amazing, but what is it what you do? What they're hearing is lots of complaints and criticism and not very many solutions. Oh, they're also hearing like you need to do more. You need to give back. You need to give up your time. You need to volunteer more. You need to be an ally. And they're hearing about pain. Maybe they're just hearing, oh, that's just part of the job.
Yeah, it's interesting too because I think what you were saying about you have to volunteer, you have to do this, you have to. I was like, well, no wonder they feel like they don't have the time. Even if they're not doing all those things, it's going to make them feel like they don't have enough time for them. And just being bombarded with that message over and over again, like I as you were saying it, I was like, I don't have enough time to breathe. And I'm not even doing all those things. And they might even be doing, maybe they're doing one or two. They're probably not doing all 5 or 6, but it's going to give them the feeling as if they were.
And then I'm telling them they need to prioritize themselves when all the other messages are, you're not good enough. You're not an ally enough. You're not giving up enough of your time. So now the question for me is like, how do I get through all that noise? Because I'm saying you should put yourself first. And that's not the language that's.
I think this is hugely insightful. So it's like if you sat down with a friend and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm just feeling all the things. These are all the things I'm feeling, overwhelmed, and I can't do it all, and I don't have enough time for me. And it's like, you should prioritize yourself. You would never say that to her because that would just be like, she'd burst into tears. You validate how they're feeling, and then you say, unless you do X, Y, and Z, like, this is where you're headed, in a loving, caring, nurturing, like you're the best friend who's sitting at a coffee and she's just venting all of her frustrations. That's how you come across with your copy and your messaging, because that will feel like it's cutting through because you're not telling them to do one more thing. Is that helpful?
Yeah.
So good. Yay. Kathy, how about you?
Okay. For me, I mean, if I take an active 75-year-old female that is still working, for instance, and they're in a labor intensive, she's a hairdresser. She stands, she works 3 days a week, stands the entire time. So, and they, like most people in a standing position, they have mostly hip and lower back issues. They do not want to hear, okay, we need to make some lifestyle changes.
Mm-hmm. What are the thoughts that are going on in her head?
Well, one, she's scared because she can't cut back on work because she won't be able to support herself. She is very active, very outgoing, does not have a life partner. And
so she's active. I'm just going to stop you there, Kathy. So she's active and outgoing. What is she seeing and hearing throughout her days?
She is around people that are physically younger than she is.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was
thinking. She's either in the salon or she is at her Pilates class. She's with her student. She is a very active 81-year-old woman that has debilitating spinal disease.
Yeah. Is she also thinking, I have to be this active because of my my pain?
Mostly
issues?
It's because of social issues, because without her being active outside of work, she basically has no social life other than to sit at the bar to talk to people at night in her building.
Got it.
And everybody, when we get to be that age, the first 10 minutes of any conversation with 6 couples is all about what's wrong with us.
My God. So this is great because I want you to, so this is also what they're hearing from everybody else, what's wrong with them. Right. And they're also seeing she's seeing lots of young people, and she's probably seeing some people who are her age, but they're in a very different physical situation that she is. And then she has this fear of, if I stop exercising, working out like a beast, then I'm going to end up like that. But I think that there's a way to communicate to her to let her know that this actually might be contributing to your pain. But there's a way that you can still manage it and still be active and still be social and still, be as vibrant, because this, 75 to 80-year-old woman clearly prioritizes her this vibrancy. But what she might not realize is, because of the fear and the clutch that she has on exercise and being active, it's actually perpetuating the pain potentially. And
absolutely.
Right, where you want to finesse it. You're not going to take it away from her, but you want to finesse it so it's actually serving her. So I think this is a really interesting demographic for you, like women over, like, let's say 65 to 85, who are super, super active, very vibrant, focused on their, like my mom has a friend, I think she's in her 70s, this woman, and is like her exercise regime is like unlike any 25-year-old. And she's so fit and toned and all of that. But then she went to Italy and went over on her ankle. And then it was like really bad sprain. And it was like her whole life was over.
Her life was over. Her life was over.
Her life was over. So I love
Right.
this idea of messaging or connecting or having this avatar or this persona of like women, you know, older, but they're so fit, but what they don't realize is it's actually contributing to their pain. And then they find you, and then you coming through, kind of like we were talking about with Jen, coming through in a way through conversation, through messaging, through understanding, talking to them like you are a friend so that they hear you and that it lands. And also think about what the thoughts are where she's recognizing this ain't working anymore. Because again, we want them to be looking for a solution. So I think she's been doing it. But I think there's a little voice in there that's like, honey, this ain't working anymore. Like this could potentially be contributing.
Yeah, she knows, she hears it.
Yeah.
It's tiny and she hears it, and she's hearing it more frequently and louder.
Right.
But she is scared that the
Yeah.
other side is
Yes.
far worse than where she
Yeah.
is. So she doesn't even want to tiptoe in that direction.
Yeah. So that's the picture you have to paint for her. And you might have to do it kind of, you know, over and over and over again. So that whisper gets a little louder. But as soon as we have someone validate our whispers, even if they're, you know, soft, it's like, oh, again, you're in my head. I've been thinking about this. Maybe I need to pay a little more attention. I love this, ladies. So good. Nina, did you have anything that you want to share real quick?
Yeah, I just want to share how powerful this exercise is, because I think so many of us, when we're, you know, trying to reach our clients, we're thinking of what they want. And what I really got from it is like, even though they want something, what's the other thought that comes up for them? Their pain points, right? Like I want to be pain free, but then what comes up is I must have been doing something wrong. There's something wrong with me. I'm not doing enough. Like, just, you know, they see what they want, and then there's also a conversation that they have that's not very kind about why they don't have what it is they want.
Yeah.
And to speak to that, I think, is like, even though we want, let's say, a pain-free body, I also know that sometimes it's hard to let go of all of our activities, and, you know, so it does really help when we're speaking that to them, to know what is in their head. Not the positive, what they want, but what is standing in the way of that, all those conversations, those conversations they have when they're not feeling they're doing it right. Or they didn't do life right, or something missed them.
Yeah.
I think it's a super powerful exercise. Thank you.
Yeah. Yay.